Hare Krishna, dear devotees, let us chant Japa with Srila Prabhupada. We'll chant one round. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale, Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namane, Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine, Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine, Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवत्युत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्ता स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। श्रीमद् भगवद गीता एज इट इज की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। सामवेद गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। वांछा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिंधुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव भक्त वृंद की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। Hare Krishna, dear devotees, welcome to today's Srimad Bhagavatam for all session. Let's recite Bhagavad Gita Shloka. Does anyone need to go first? Achintadev Prabhu, you'll be first. 1 second, I'll just share the screen. Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 9, text 23. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Achintadev Prabhu, you can read.
Yes. Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to the assembled devotees.
Please accept my humble obeisances, Prabhuji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Please repeat, Prabhuji. Yepyanya devata bhakta
Yepyanna devata bhakta
yajante shraddhayanvitaah
yajante shraddha yavantita
yanvitaah
yajante shraddha yanvitaha
te tepi mameva kaunteya
tepi mame eva kunteya
yajantyavidhi purvakam.
yajanti avidhi purvakam. Translation: those who are devotees of other gods and who worship them with faith actually worship only me, O son of Kunti, but they do so in a wrong way. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Arunita and Aditi Lata Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
ये पिए अनाया
Yepyanya devata bhakta
ये पियन्य देवता भक्त यजन्ते सत्यान्वितः तेऽपि मामेव कौन्तेय यजन्ति
avidhi purvakam.
अविधिपूर्वकम्. Translation: those who are devotees of other gods and who worship them with faith actually worship only me, O son of Kunti, but they do so in a wrong way.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Please accept my humble obeisances, Mataji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
ये पियन्या देवता भक्ता यजन्ते श्रद्धया यान्विता तेऽपि माम् एव कौन्तेय यजन्ति अविधि पूर्वकम्. Those who are devotees of other gods and who worship them with faith actually worship only me, O son of Kunti, but they do so in a wrong way. Thank you,
Mataji. Hare Krishna. Inba, Inya, if they're there, or Jai Ganesh Prabhu and Jai Shri Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
येऽप्यन्य देवता भक्ता यजन्ते श्रद्धयान्वितः विताः तेऽपि मामेव कौन्तेय यजन्त्यविधि पूर्वकम्. Those who are devotees of other gods and who worship them with faith actually worship only me, O son of Kunti, but they do so in a wrong way.
Thank you. Inya.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
येऽप्यन्य देवता भक्ता यजन्ते श्रद्धयान्विता तेऽपि मामेव कौन्तेय यजन्त्यविधिपूर्वकम्. Translation: those who are devotees of other gods and who worship them with faith actually worship only me, O son of Kunti, but they do so in a wrong way.
Yes, thank you. Jai Shri Mataji is there.
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna Mataji. Dandavat pranam. Glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Dandavat pranam Mataji. Jai Shri Prabhupada.
ये अपि अन्य देवता भक्ता यजन्ते श्रद्धयान्विताः ते अपि मामेव कौन्तेय यजन्त्य विधिपूर्वकम्. Those who are devotees of other gods and who worship them with faith actually worship only me, O son of Kunti, but they do so in a wrong way. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Dandavat pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Dandavat pranam Prabhuji. Jai Shri Prabhupada.
ये अपि अन्यदेवता भक्ता यजन्ते श्रद्धयान्विताः तेऽपि माम् एव कौन्तेय यजन्त्यविधिपूर्वकम्. Translation: all Srila Prabhupada. Those who are devotees of other gods and who worship them with faith actually worship only me, O son of Kunti, but they do so in a wrong way. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Madhava. Can't hear you. You're in mute.
Yepyanya devata bhakta yadante sadhayanita tepi mam eva kundeya yadantya avidipurvakam. Those who are devotees of other gods and worship them with faith actually worship me, only me, O son of Kunti, but they do so in the wrong way.
Lokesh. Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Jai Srila Prabhupada, Jai Guru Maharaj. Dandavat Pranam Mataji, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Yes, Mataji. Epyanya devata bhakta yajante shraddhayanvitaha tepi mam eva kaunteya yajanti avidhi purvakam. Those who are devotees of other gods and who worship them with faith actually worship only me, O son of Kunti, but they do so in a wrong way. Thank you, Mataji. Lokesh will recite little later. Sure, Mataji. Actually, everyone is done, so. Oh, okay, then it's fine, Mataji. Yeah, I'll just recite. Bhagavad Gita 9:23. Yepyanya devata bhakta yajante shraddhayanvitaha tepi mameva kaunteya yajantya vidhi purvakam. Those who are devotees of other gods and who worship them with faith actually worship only me, O son of Kunti, but they do so in a wrong way. We'll read Srimad Bhagavatam now. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 8, Chapter 19. Did we complete it? Let me just see. I think we have to start a new chapter. No, I guess that's Chetan Chatam. Okay. So, chapter 19, it is entitled Lord Vamandev begs 3 steps of land from Bali Maharaj. So, begs charity from Bali Maharaj. What were we reading yesterday? How Shukracharya is preaching to Bali Maharaj not to give land to Vamandev, because Vamandev is going to cover, with his 2 steps, he's going to cover all the upper, middle, lower planets and outer space, and nothing will remain for Bali to give for the 3rd step. As a result of this, he will first of all become poverty stricken, he will lose his livelihood, and also after this life he will go to hell for not being able to fulfill his promise. And now Shukracharya is actually preaching to Bali Maharaj that what if somebody says, but you have promised already, how you can go back on your promise? So there Shukracharya is explaining that, yeah, Shukracharya is saying that no, there's a way out of this also. Unless you chant Om, your promise is not considered truthful. If you have not chanted Om when you promise someone, then you can break that promise. You don't get any sinful reaction. Besides, why are you breaking this promise? Because if you gave this charity, you're going to lose your livelihood. If you don't have even a means of living, how are you going to perform any religious activities? How are you going to even do any sacrifice or give any charity? You won't be able to do anything. So, learned scholars say that you should not give that type of charity which is going to put your livelihood in danger. Actually, when you give charity, the money that you have, you should divide it wisely in 5 parts according to scripture. 1 portion should be given or should be spent for religion, 1 portion for increasing your reputation, 1 portion for sense gratification, 1 portion for family maintenance, and 1 portion to increase your opulence. Like this, the Shastras are saying. So there we saw Srila Prabhupada is saying, yes, Shastras say that you should spend in 5 parts, but Dharma, Artha, Kama are taken care of when you spend it directly for Krishna consciousness, for propagating Krishna consciousness. That's taken care of. That's why Srila Rupa Goswami says 50% of your income should be given for Krishna consciousness. 25%, because family members expect, you can give 25% of your profit to the family members, and 25% of your income you can keep for emergency, for future, for yourself, like that. So, yeah. Then, further, Shukracharya is further explaining that what will happen if you actually, why is it okay for you to not give charity or go back on your promise? Because here the question is of losing your livelihood, your means of living. So, again, he's saying in text 39, the Vedas enjoin that the factual result of the tree of the body is the good fruits and flowers. So if you compare this body to a tree, then the actual benefit that you derive from a tree is when you get the fruit of that. What is the fruit? Fruits and flowers. Similarly, what is the benefit of this body? The benefit of this body is you'll be able to, on different levels, right? Someone who's a materialist, for him, the benefit of this body is, with this body, I'll be able to enjoy life. I will be able to get sense gratification. I can do karma, punya karma. And by that punya karma, I can go to heavenly planets where I can enjoy more. I can get birth in a wealthy family. I can become the king by doing punya karma. But in order to do that, I need a body. So the result of the body is to get the fruit, the result. Or a jnani may say the result of this body is to get liberation. But whatever process you want to follow, you need a body. But then if somebody says, but the body itself is false, why you need this body? Then, well, even if the body is false, still you need this body to get your result. Yes, it is false. Brahma Satyam, Jagat Mithya. The Jagat is Mithya, the body is Mithya, you may say. So for argument's sake, they're saying that, okay, even if we say this body is false, still you need this body to get your result. That means, what is Shukracharya trying to impress upon Bali Maharaj? That if you don't maintain your body, how will you get the fruit? The fruit is whatever fruit you want. You want liberation, you want kingdom, whatever you want, you need a body. And to maintain this body, you need some source of livelihood. Without your livelihood, how will you maintain your body? How will you get the result? So therefore, you cannot give this charity, because if you give this charity, you're losing your livelihood. There also we discussed how, from a material perspective, somebody like a godless society will think like this. They will only calculate in terms of, actions, reactions. There is no role of the Supreme Personality of Godhead there. If you are doing everything for the Lord, to please the Lord, here what is Bali Maharaj doing? Is he giving simply some charity? The purpose of giving this charity, he will give charity after knowing that this is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Shukracharya already said, this is Lord Vishnu. So if I gave everything to Lord Vishnu, still you're calculating in terms of losing all your maintenance, isn't it? But who is it that I'm giving to? Am I just giving it to somebody as charity and I'm losing everything? Anyone who gives anything to the Lord, he's not a loser. This faith only a devotee will have. A non-devotee will not have this faith. So Shukracharya is not having that faith. He is simply calculating in terms of, like a business deal. You do this and you get this result. You invest this much, you get this much result. But he's forgetting the main element there, which is Krishna consciousness. Bali Maharaj is going to give it to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He's not going to be a loser. But anyway, nevertheless, he's talking from, material perspective. If you don't even have a means of livelihood, how you are going to do anything else? Even if you want to go to heaven or you want to get liberated, whatever, how you will do that without you? To follow some procedure, you need the body, and to maintain the body, it's essential. Of course, devotees also accept that point, that you must take care of your body. That also we discussed yesterday. You must take care of your body because you need this body to perform devotional service. But it's not that you become completely, completely, what is the word, right? Obsessed with this body, right? I need to keep this body comfortable. I need to keep this body, make it beautiful. And, I have to live a very long life. And so for that, I'll do this and that. And all your absorption is about this body only. How to keep this body, how to keep this body. Not like that. But certainly you must take care of the body. And the basic, that is part of our devotional life. That's already taken care of. Your body is taken care of if you just follow the devotional life, the practices that are given to us. Rise early in the morning. Rise early in the morning. That is essential for maintaining the body nicely, right? And go to bed early. Rise early in the morning. And, eat sattvic foods. Krishna prasadam specifically. Sattvic food, but which is offered to Krishna. Eat Krishna prasad. Don't eat junk foods, right? And get enough rest. So basic things, right? Keep your body clean inside and outside. Most important, chant Hare Krishna. If we do these things, the body will be taken care of. You don't have to do too much to maintain this body. You don't need lots of money to maintain this body. You don't need a big palace to maintain this body. Okay. So anyway, if the body is based on untruth, there cannot be factual fruits and flowers without the help of the bodily truth. Even if the body is based on untruth. Matlab, meaning, even if you say that this body is not real, Jagat Mithya, even if it is not real, still you need it. And then the next verse says, what happens if you don't maintain this body? You cut off the supply of food to the plant, to the body. Just like a tree which is cut off, it loses all its nourishment. Similarly, when you don't take care of this body, when you neglect this body, then this body will dry up, right? You could have achieved so much more with this body, but you have simply, uh, they say that you you have wasted. You got such a golden opportunity of getting a human form of body. You could have actually achieved the goal of your life, but by neglecting the body, you have wasted that opportunity like that. So if you don't take care of the body, which is supposed to be, and why you didn't take care of the body? Because of your ignorance. You're thinking this body is false. Why I have to take care of this body? Anyway, like Mataji was saying yesterday, anyway, you'll get another body. Why I have to take care of this body? This is foolishness. This is foolishness, right? Of course, a neophyte cannot imitate an advanced devotee. Again, like I was not planning on this. I just listened to Prabhupada's lectures. They come one after another. And today morning, again, when I was listening, Srila Prabhupada makes this point. The 6 Goswamis, they didn't sleep at all at night. They didn't sleep. But can I imitate the 6 Goswamis? No, I cannot. Because I'm not on that level. That will come with advancement, Srila Prabhupada is saying. Not sleeping at all in the night, that will come when you are actually advanced in Krishna consciousness. That means even you don't sleep all night, you don't see any reactions. Even you don't eat anything all day. 24 hours you're engaged in direct devotional service. You don't feel anything. Just like for us, let's say you're fasting on Janmashtami or on Gaur Purnima, you're doing Nirjala fasting. Then after some time, you start feeling, oh, this and that, especially children, because they're not used to it. At one point, whether children or adults, if you're not actually engaged in service during the day, you will see the reactions. You try doing it on some other day, not on Janmashtami day. Just skip eating all day and see what will happen. Those are special days. Actually, we get empowered by the Lord. We don't even feel hungry on those days because we are absorbed one after another in Krishna consciousness, so we don't feel actually. But normal days, if you try not eating, what will happen? So their consciousness is every day they are like that. Janmashtami consciousness, constantly absorbed, day and night. They don't feel hungry. That means they're on that level. Haridas Thakur was chanting how many rounds every day? 192 rounds. 192 rounds for us, it will take, if we do attentively, for us it will take 24 hours. I mean, first of all, we won't be able to do 192 rounds. Even if we manage to do it, it will take us 24 hours. And he didn't do it just once on Ekadasi or once a year on Pandav Nirjala Ekadasi. He was doing it every single day. Try to understand. For someone to be able to do that, he must be that advanced. So now if I say, oh, Haridas Thakur did it, I will also do it, what will happen to me? I cannot imitate. So therefore, prapanchikataya buddhya, no, what was that word? Prapanchikataya buddhya hari sambandhi vastunaha mumukshubhi parityago falgu vairagyam uchate. That means if you reject those things which can actually be used in Krishna's service, then that type of renunciation is called Falgu Vairagya. So therefore, what should we do? Yuktam Vairagyam. We have to use Yukta Vairagya. Yukta Vairagya means this body, thinking that this body is material, I will reject it. That type of rejection is Falgu Vairagya. It's not complete Vairagya, it's false Vairagya. Saying that this body is material, this world is material. I'm renouncing that. I don't have to take care of this body. This renunciation is not real renunciation. That's not the reason why they rejected it. Our what Haridas Thakur and the Goswamis, they didn't think that this body is material. Why I have to worry about this one? That was not their thought. Their conviction was, I am a servant of Krishna, and whatever is within my possession, everything belongs to Krishna. Everything has to be used in Krishna's service. My body, my mind, my intelligence, my time, my life, everything is Krishna's property. Let me use it all in Krishna's service. That is their mood. And when they actually become that advanced, they use every moment of their life in Krishna's service. So, but foolishly, in an initial, neophyte stage, if someone says, oh, this body is like the Mayavadis, right? This body is untruth, rejected. So that type of renunciation is not proper. So I gave you both. What is Shukracharya explaining? He's saying, don't give up the means of your livelihood. Yes, because you give this charity to Bali, you are going to lose your livelihood. And losing your livelihood means you cannot maintain your body. And if you're not maintaining your body, you're thinking this body is false. Why I have to maintain this body? Let me give it charity. No, you won't achieve anything if you give up this body, he's saying. Okay, you won't achieve anything giving up. And if you actually neglect your body, then you are closing doors to all opportunities. Basically, without body, what you'll achieve? That's what Shukracharya is saying. And of course, how our acharyas are explaining, I already explained that to you. Text 41. परागरिक्तम् अपूर्णं वा अक्षरं यत्तद् ओम इति यत्किञ्चिद् ओम इति ब्रूयात् तेन रिच्येत वै पुमान् भिक्षवे सर्वमोम कुर्वन् नालं कामेन चात्मने. Whose turn is it today?
Only Spurti was left and then A will start.
Mataji?
Only Spurti was left yesterday and then A will start.
Acha, who was left?
Only Spurti was left.
Only Spurti, and they are not here. So we'll start with you then. Achinta Dev Prabhu can start. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. It really helps if somebody remembers, we save time. Yeah, Prabhuji. Or any of you can start if Prabhuji is not ready.
Hare Krishna Mataji, I can start.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Translation. The utterance of the word Om signifies separation from one's monetary assets. In other words, by uttering this word, one becomes free from attachment to money because his money is taken away from him. To be without money is not very satisfactory, for in that position one can not fulfill one's desires. In other words, by using the word Om, one becomes poverty-stricken. Especially when one gives charity to a poor man or beggar, one remains unfulfilled in self-realization and intense gratification. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So this is Shukracharya saying, what happens when you utter Om and you give charity? What are the consequences of that? What is Shukracharya saying? The utterance of the word Om signifies separation from one's monetary assets. So especially if you are promising to give someone some charity, some donation, and you say that I'm going to give you this charity, and you say Om, you utter the sound Om. What is the result of that? That means you have made a promise and you have to give it. You have to give it. In other words, by uttering this word Om, one becomes, actually, utterance of the word Om means you become separated from monetary assets. Even if you simply say Om, actually, right, when you utter the word Om, you become separated from your monetary assets. In what way? You lose your attachment to money. When you say Om, you lose your attachment. You become free from attachment to money. Why you become free from attachment to money? Because that money is taken away from you. To be without money, okay. So now, but Shukracharya is saying, so therefore you don't say Om. If you say Om, now he's preparing, right? Bali Maharaj is preparing now. He said, all right, you take whatever you want. First, he tried to convince Vamandev to take more. Vamandev explained in so many ways, no, I should only take 3 steps. All right, you take. And now he's preparing to utter Om and actually make a promise, right? He said, verbally, he said, yes, you take, I'll give you. That he said. Now, actually making a promise by chanting Om. So, Shukracharya is saying, if you go ahead and if you say Om, you will have to part with your money. You will have to part with your money. But also, when you say Om, you lose attachment to money. Why you lose attachment to money? Because you understand it's not mine anymore. It will be taken away from me. So you lose attachment. But then what will be your situation if you lose that money? After you lose that money, to be without money is not very satisfactory. For in that position, one can fulfill one's desires. If you have money, you can buy things which will please you, right? Whatever you like, you can buy and you can enjoy. That means you can buy things which will give you enjoyment. And if you don't have money, means you'll have to sacrifice that enjoyment. So it is not very satisfactory to be without money, because you won't be able to fulfill your desires. In other words, by using the word Om, one becomes poverty stricken, because he'll have to part with the money. If he said Om, and then after he says Om, after the money is lost, now he cannot enjoy, he'll become a poor person. Especially when one gives charity to a poor man or beggar, right? If you give to a sadhu, that's a different thing. You'll get some spiritual credits. But if you simply give to some poor man, what is the benefit you're going to get from that? He'll take it and he'll go away, and you will be without any blessings. That means you won't have any, you won't have that money to enjoy, basically. Okay. When one gives charity to a poor man or beggar, what is the benefit in that? One remains unfulfilled in self-realization and in sense gratification, both ways. Sense gratification you cannot, because you gave away that money, so you won't get sense gratification. Self-realization also you won't make progress, because if you give it to some sadhu, then you will get some self-realization, some spiritual advancement. What do you benefit by giving to a beggar? That's what Shukracharya is saying. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. First paragraph, either Arunita or Aditi Lata Mataji can read.
Hare Krishna Mataji, let me read. Maharaj Bali wanted to give everything to Vamandev, who had appeared as a beggar. But Shukracharya, being Maharaj Bali's familial spiritual master in the line of seminal succession, could not appreciate Maharaj Bali's promise. Shukracharya gave Vedic evidence that one should not give everything to a poor man. Rather, when a poor man comes for charity, one should untruthfully say, whatever I have given you. I have no more. It is not that one should give everything to him. Actually, the word Om is meant for Om Tat Sat, the absolute truth. Omkara is meant for freedom from all attachment to money, because money should be spent for the purpose of the Supreme. The tendency of modern civilization is to give money in charity to the poor. Such charity has no spiritual value, because we actually see that although there are so many hospitals and other foundations and institutions for the poor, according to the 3 modes of material nature, a class of poor men is always destined to continue. Even though there are so many charitable institutions, poverty has not been driven from human society. Therefore, it is recommended here, Bhiksha ve sarvam om kurvam nalam kamena chatmane. One should not give everything to the beggars among the poor.
Yeah, very interesting point. This we see in the modern society. People put great emphasis on giving charity to the poor, or to, even to the third world countries where there is poor people. They want to help them. So many different ways they want to give charity, isn't it? In hospitals also, giving charity, donating, to help those who don't have whatever. What is the, what is the result of this type of charity? what is the benefit of this type of charity? I'll just tell you one thing. Yesterday my son Madhava was telling me that he had in his social studies he's studying. So they tell him that the death rate, science, science, they're telling him that because of the technological advancement and medical advancement, now even though earlier people used to, the birth rate was very high, now the birth rate has come down because they put conditions. You can only have one child or two children. Now you're not even two children, only one child you can have. So the birth rate has gone down, but still the population is increasing. That means the death rate has drastically decreased. The death rate was, I forget the percentage, but like in some decades ago it was some percentage, 40%, 50%, whatever. Now it has come down further. So by this, when I was listening to this, I asked him, as I was listening to this, the very first thing that came to my mind was the whole calculation, just like Shukracharya, when he's explaining about what will happen if you don't take care of your livelihood, then you will lose everything. There is no understanding whatsoever of the role of God. It's all about, we are going to handle everything, we are going to fix everything. And so now in future, they are giving these false, what do you say, how do you say it, promises, right? That in future now everything, like the death rate will come down completely, right? It will come. So he was asking me, the death rate, mummy, the death rate has gone down, now the death rate is only 20% or whatever. I said, no, the death rate is 100%. What do you mean it is 20%, 10%, 5%? Are you saying that people will stop dying? What is this calculation? Everyone is going to die. Everyone is going to die. What do you mean the death rate is 5% or 20%? You may stop the birth rate by 4, but stopping birth rate does not mean that you're stopping, illicit activity. That is still going on. And you're saying death rate has gone down. What do you mean death rate has gone down? Everyone is supposed to die. Everyone is going to die. Death rate is 100%. So these are the deluding ways of, preaching and teaching against God consciousness. So anyway, coming back here, talking about charity, giving charity. So Prabhupada is saying that what is the benefit in, this is from Shastra, by the way. Shukracharya is quoting from Shastra about giving charity. And he's saying, Shukracharya is saying, when a beggar comes, it's not that you should give everything that you have to the beggar. In fact, you should give a little bit, whatever, and you should say, I have given everything that I have. I don't have anything more to give. But don't give everything to the beggar. And Shukracharya himself is saying, what is the benefit of giving charity to a beggar? You lose your money, that means materially also you don't enjoy, and also you don't get any benefit for self-realization. Of course, that is the consciousness of someone who is materialistic, who is not a devotee, right? A devotee does not think that, oh, if I give, I will lose my sense enjoyment. Devotee won't think like that. Everything belongs to the Lord. Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. If it is the Lord's property, why someone else should enjoy it? You understand? So when you keep Krishna in the center, there is no question of depriving anyone of anything. It's not that you neglect the poor people. When Krishna is in the center, what did Srila Prabhupada do? He was distributing prasadam to everyone. It's not that we don't take care of people, but we do it with seeing Krishna in the center. not taking Krishna out of the picture and putting myself in the center. I am giving you this charity. We don't do that, right? And the best charity is to actually, again, that example of a person drowning in the water, simply saving his shirt. What kind of help is that? The man is going to drown. I give him something now and I save his whatever, and then that person is going to go to hell. What type of help is that? So give a wholesome, complete help, right? As far as possible, try to give full help. Otherwise, if you simply give some external help to someone and you feel very satisfied, I've done something good, this purport is saying no, there's not much benefit to that. A higher purpose is that when you chant Om means Om Tat Sat. Om Tat Sat. That means everything belongs to the Lord. And when you're giving charity, who is the rightful, or who is the person, who is the deserving person of your charity? Krishna is the only person who deserves your charity. He's the only person who, because he owns it. He owns it. So therefore you chant Om when you're giving charity to Krishna. And you're not supposed to give everything you have in charity to a poor person or to someone else. Okay, so this first paragraph, whatever I have, okay, so Srila Prabhupada is saying here, actually the word Om is meant for Om Tat Sat. Omkar is meant for freedom from all attachment to money, because money should be spent for the purpose of the Supreme. The tendency of modern civilization is to give money in charity to the poor. Such charity has no spiritual value. That's the point. Such charity has no spiritual value. Now you may bring out some points from Bhagavad Gita. That also about faith, when we were talking about divisions of faith. There we see 17th chapter, right? When someone renounces, so different grades were given. So the last thing was, all right, renunciation, talking about renunciation. So best is to give everything to Krishna. But you're not able to do that. Then you do this, then you do this. Then the final thing is, if you're not able to, okay, give it to some charitable organization. That does not mean that is the recommended thing. At least you learn, right? Nishkama karma. Nishkama karma is basic. Because now I do karma and I get the result. I think I am the enjoyer. That is a karmi. I worked hard. This is my money. Let me enjoy. That is a karmi. But you should understand, this attitude is going to bind you to this material world. Don't try to enjoy the result. Give up the fruit. Never mind. Give it to some charitable organization. Give it to somebody. You just be detached from the result. That's very, very minimum, basic. And from there, you start gradually building higher and higher and higher. But the highest is, even from that level, you can directly offer everything to Krishna. You see? But if you don't have that type of shraddha, that I have to offer it to the Supreme Lord, He is the owner of everything, then it's better than just keeping everything to myself and enjoying. You practice some detachment, part with the result, and give it to somebody. But you cannot equate the both and say this giving donation and giving to Krishna is the same. No. Even if I didn't give any charity to any poor person, and if I gave everything to Krishna, I would still be better than the person who's giving charity. That's the important point we should understand. That is the point Srila Prabhupada is making. That there is no spiritual benefit in giving to the poor. But if you are not able to do that also, right, you're not able to do anything and you just want to enjoy everything, and you're not able to give it to Krishna, and you're not able to work for Krishna, you're not able to, anything, nothing directly. And Prabhupada also says in that purport there, that sometimes you're born in some other religious faith, right? And there is some restrictions from your family that you cannot you cannot donate to Krishna, so on and so forth. Then all right, if you're in such a situation, because when you part from your hard-earned income, it brings you to the mode of goodness. That is what it is. Otherwise, we are in passion and ignorance, trying to enjoy the fruits of our work. So when we learn to part from the fruits of our hard work, it will bring us to the mode of goodness. So that is why it is encouraged. At least give some charity. But you cannot say giving that charity to some poor or some hospital is the same as giving charity to Krishna. And at the same time, if you say, I will do some for Krishna and some for this also, that shows you don't have full faith in Krishna. It shows that you don't have full Shraddha. I can send you that quote of Srila Prabhupada about Shraddha. If I say, all right, I will worship Krishna also, and some one flower I'll give to Krishna, one flower I'll give to some demigods also, I'll do both, no problem. That means I'm not Ananya. I don't have full faith that if I serve Krishna, everything is taken care of. I don't have that yet. Shraddha means full Shraddha. And Krishna's reciprocation is also like that. Somebody who has full Shraddha, to him, Krishna's reciprocation is one way, and someone who has partial Shraddha, his reciprocation is different to that person. Ye yatha mam prapadyante tams tathaiva bhajamyaham. As one approaches me, I reward him accordingly. Like that. So, yeah. So, if everything I have, I will give directly to Krishna, that's the best. Everything I have, whatever I have to Krishna. Yes, sometimes you may see that to set example, this is another category, you should pay attention. Sometimes even those who are pure devotees, they may also give in charity to other organizations or to poor people, so on and so forth. It's not because they feel we should do this also and we should do that also. No, no. These are the people who are playing the role of a leader in the society. The common people, general people in the society who are not pure devotees or who are not devotees, they may be looking up to this person as a leader. Those people are not able to directly take to pure devotional service, but at least to raise their level from the level of animal type of life, at least to bring them to the point of nishkama karma, right? Just like the Vedas give facility to those in the mode of ignorance also. All right, you want to eat meat, you offer to goddess Kali once a month and you eat. That does not mean the Vedas are recommending now everyone start offering meat to Kali and eat once a month. No. Certain people who are not able to take to pure devotional service, all right, we give some so that you will also be part of the system, you'll start making advancement. Like this, leaders like Yudhishthir Maharaj, right? Or like that, for example, Parikshit Maharaj. They're actually pure unalloyed devotees, but sometimes you see them doing some karma, like giving some charity, doing some yagya. Why? It's not for the sake of devotees who are aspiring for pure devotional service. It is for the sake of those people who don't take to devotionals, who are not able to take to devotional service yet, but at least to encourage them. All right, instead of living the life of an attached person, now you learn to part with your hard-earned income. See, I'm doing like this, you also do. So they do it to set example to the society. When you say society, we are talking about the society in general, not necessarily we are talking about the devotee society. Again, it's a consciousness. It can be devotees also. Externally, we have tilak and everything, but our consciousness is still like that. We don't have full faith. We don't have full faith. Then Bhagavatam says, if you don't have full faith, you must do karma. And then you offer that karma to Krishna with the goal that ultimately you should come to the point of doing only pure unalloyed devotional service. So that is the point. I hope it is clear what I said. Yes? You actually, there is no need to give any other charity, but then you'll say, Mataji, if everyone is doing pure devotional service, nobody is giving charity, how those poor people will survive? How these organizations will survive if nobody gives charity? Don't worry. Everyone is not going to become a pure devotee. Pure devotional service is like a diamond. How many customers you get who buy diamonds? You won't get. Let's say if everyone actually became a pure devotee, then what? If everyone actually became a pure devotee, will there be any diseases? Will there be any need for hospitals? No way. This is going to be spiritual world on this earth. There won't be any need for it. There won't be any need to do any karma. Nobody has to work. Nobody has to farm. Nothing. If everyone is doing only direct devotional service 24/7, automatically everything will come. Do we have that faith? The point is, do we have that faith? Let's get back to our reading now. So the first paragraph is saying that such charity of giving to the poor has no value, because we actually see that although there are many hospitals and other foundations and institutions for the poor, according to the three modes of material nature, a class of poor men will always be there. So it's not that, oh, I, by my endeavor, I'm going to remove poverty. Like I said, Madhava was saying, his teacher was saying that death rate, we are going to bring it down. Like that, we are going to eradicate poverty from the face of this earth. Who are you to eradicate anything? All these things are coming by karmic reactions. How much ever you work, from material point of view, you can do whatever you want. The karmic reactions will still come. What is meant to happen will happen. There will still be beggars. America is a wealthy country. Are there no beggars? Are there no homeless people? Here in Philadelphia, every day you go out on the street, you will see homeless. Why? This is a wealthy country. Then why there are homeless people? Why there are beggars? Karma. So Prabhupada is saying one should not give everything to the beggars among the poor. Don't give everything. So what Shukracharya is saying is true. Don't give everything. But to whom? To the beggar. Don't give everything to the beggar and poor. But who is Bali Maharaj giving to? He is giving to the Lord. Okay, next paragraph, Arunita.
Now, Mataji, she will read later, Mataji.
Later. Inba or Inia or Prabhuji Mataji, whoever's there.
Yes, Mataji. The best solution is that of the Krishna consciousness movement. This movement is always kind to the poor, not only because it feeds them, but also because it gives them enlightenment by teaching them how to become Krishna conscious. We are therefore opening hundreds and thousands of centers for those who are poor, both in money and in knowledge, to enlighten them in Krishna consciousness and reform their character by teaching them how to avoid illicit sex, intoxication, meat eating, and gambling, which are the most sinful activities and which cause people to suffer life after life. The best way to use money is to open such a center where all may come live and reform their character. They may live very comfortably without denial of any of the body's necessities, but they live under spiritual control, and thus they live happily and save time for advancement for Krishna consciousness. If one has money, it should not be squandered away on nothing. It should be used to push forward the Krishna consciousness movement so that all of human society will become happy, prosperous, and hopeful of being promoted back home, back to Godhead. The Vedic mantra in this regard reads as follows: Paragva etad ritim aksarabhyad etad om iti tad yat kinchid om iti आहात्रैवास्मै तदृच्छते सयत् सर्वम् ओम कुर्यात् ऋच्याद् आत्मानं सकामेभ्यो नालं स्यात्.
Very good. Thank you. No? Prabhupada now is giving the other side. You shouldn't give to the poor or to the beggars everything. But then what should you do then? You shouldn't squander your money. So then if we don't give to the poor and the beggars, that means we should use it all for ourselves, for our families, for our future, and so on and so forth. No, not like that. Best thing is when you have money, so again, making it clear that we don't deny anyone. It's not that we deny the beggars and the poor people. No. But we don't become satisfied simply giving them some clothes or some money or some food and we think, yes, now I'm a very charitable person. No, not like that. Which is generally the tendency. If you really honestly study the situation, the tendency is you give charity and you feel good about yourself. I have given charity. No. Real help we should give them, give them. So if you are giving them food, give them prasadam. And you have this understanding that not only am I feeding his body, I'm actually feeding his soul. This is not going to help him only in this life. It is going to help him from going to, it will save him from going to hell. Like that. And if I give him money, what will happen? He will go and he'll buy some BD and he will smoke. What type of help have I done to him? Or here also, you give some dollars to somebody, some poor person, homeless person, he'll go, he'll buy beer and he'll drink. Instead of getting some positive benefit, you'll get the negative. You have helped him in committing sinful activity, you also become a shareholder of that sin. You will have to suffer for that. Yes. Yes. Or some other type of help you do to that person, and taking that help, now he commits sinful activities after getting your help. You have to share that. Of course, you may say, my intention was good. That is in bhakti. Bhavagrahi Janardana bhakti. In bhakti, Krishna says, yes, bhava. But in karma, no. This is all karma. Giving charity is karma. Feeding the poor, giving charity. Oh, so many stories are there in the Puranas. Some slight mistake. Oh, you have to go to hell. You have to suffer. If you're dealing with karma, you have to be extremely cautious. One slight mistake and lene ke dene pad jayenge. Right? Instead of getting something, you will have to give so much. You'll have to suffer in hell even. So be on the safe side. Even if you're giving some charity, you make it Krishna conscious charity. You do it Krishna consciously. You're praying to Krishna sincerely. Why you're doing it, right? And how you're going to help that person. Best charity is to feed. Give them, right? If you come across. So Srila Prabhupada is saying, open a center. Always carry with you some prasadam. That's one thing. Of course, I'm saying this, I'm not doing it myself, but there are devotees who do that, right? Especially when you're traveling outside, they have these cookies, in small Ziploc bags, they keep cookies in their basket. So if they come across somebody, yeah, there's another thing here in this, I think here you cannot give them some food, because then the question is like, I don't know. I think if it's nicely packaged, like in a Ziploc bag, they might take it, right? Aditi Lata Mataji, you're raising your hand.
Yes, Mataji. I just want to share, Mataji, in Vrindavan when we were traveling, no, my spiritual, my Siksha Guru, Ramya Devi Dasi, I saw her, she used to make those nimki.
Yes.
And she used to carry that. And in Vrindavan also, wherever, if anyone is begging, she gives that. So when we were coming back, she actually gave a packet of that to me, and I was thinking it is for me. And then she said, she said, no, if anyone asks, you have keep this food. So that's where I was, understanding that we should also do that. Although I didn't learn, I still don't do it.
Yes, Mataji. I'm getting also some instructions through lectures, things that we don't take so seriously when we are practicing at home. We think, oh, this is over. Actually, it is very simple, Krishna consciousness. But if you really look at the details, it is not so simple. It is simple, but there is no limit to how much you can refine Krishna consciousness. I'll just share some things with you that I heard just in Srila Prabhupada's quotes recently in the past few days, or some lectures that I have heard. Srila Prabhupada says that one thing is about sitting properly when you're chanting Hare Krishna. How many times, we hear that and we are like, okay, but are we actually taking it? Because our entire advancement in Krishna consciousness is depending on this chanting Hare Krishna. This is the most important activity that we do. And everything else that we are doing, whether we are studying and we are doing other services, is so that we can have the right consciousness when we are chanting Hare Krishna. Really. But how seriously am I taking this instruction? Right? Here, there, little bit here, little bit there. Somehow I completed my 16 rounds. What to speak of setting, or sitting straight, and Prabhupada says sit with your back straight. That's why in that japa, Prabhupada sit properly, sit properly. That is an instruction. We have to take that seriously. That is one. Because Srila Prabhupada says also, in the same context, Srila Prabhupada says, so this is one instruction. The other one is being attentive to the instructions given by the spiritual master. You actually make progress. Again, this is also an instruction. Sit properly is an instruction by the spiritual master. And I'm not taking the instructions so seriously. That means I pick and choose what I want to take seriously and what I don't want to take seriously. Isn't it? So then, if you take, how do you make progress in Krishna consciousness? We all want to make progress. But what is the way to actually progress in Krishna consciousness is to take the instruction of the sadhus, of the spiritual master very seriously. That means being very attentive, actually practicing what we are hearing. That's when we will make progress. So Prabhupada is saying you should be attentive. Attentive means you are actually paying attention to the detail and you're making it a point to apply it. And one more thing is, Prabhupada says, cleanliness is next to godliness. If you, these are all from quotes or lectures, just recently, past 2-3 days. Cleanliness is next to God. If you want to make progress in Krishna consciousness very quickly, just you pay attention to this instruction. Cleanliness is next to godliness. That's all. And yesterday I was listening to one lecture by His Holiness Swayam Keshav Bhagwan Maharaj. And there Maharaj, quoting from Chaitanya Charitamrita, says that what is the qualification? Like you need some prerequisites, right? To enter into a university, to get into a medical college, you should pass some entrance exam with a particular rank. Only then you are eligible. What is the eligibility to enter into the university of Vrajaprema? Vrajaprema means that's what we are aspiring for, right? Goloka Vrindavan, right? We want to go. We are not aspiring for liberation. We are not aspiring to go to Vaikunta. We are not aspiring for Salokya, Samipya, Sarshti Mukti. No. We want to go to Vrindavan. We want to be, right? We want to serve Krishna in Vrindavan, where he is with his Brajbasis. That is Vraja Prema. We want that love of the Brajbasis. The love that the Brajbasis have for Krishna, we want that love. That is our goal. So what is the qualification to get that? To even enter into that university where you will be taught how to gain that Vrajaprema, you will be taught in that university. Just like you go to a college, you have to study for 4 or 5 years and you take exams and finally you'll get your certificate. Yes, now you're a doctor, right? Mataji, Swarnangi Mataji is a doctor. So after 5 years, then you get that studying. So similarly, you enter into this university of Vrajaprema. And then you will actually be trained, taught. Finally, you will get it. But what is the even prerequisite to enter into that university? Maharaj is saying, completely rooting out impersonalism is the prerequisite to enter into this university. What is impersonalism? Towards whom? Being impersonal to Krishna, being impersonal to the devotees. The details are also given. Impersonal to Krishna, impersonal to devotees, and impersonal to all living entities. Only when we root out this impersonalism towards Krishna, impersonalism towards the devotees, and impersonalism towards all living entities, that is when we can actually get entrance into Rajaprema. So now, such instructions are always coming. But who makes progress?
What is impersonalism with devotees and other people?
You understand what is impersonalism? Not
Yeah.
being personal. Not being personal. Right? You act like they don't even exist there. That is impersonal. Personal means, like if you are in front of me, at least I'll greet you. I'll say, Hare Krishna, how are you? Right? Like I'm acknowledging your presence. And what to speak of I'm conscious and I'm making it known. That is personal. Impersonal means it's as if that person doesn't even exist. I'm going about my business, not acknowledging that person's existence. So like this, I can be impersonal to Krishna. The deity is right there, but during Arati, all of a sudden, Hare Krishna and Kirtan. And as soon as the Arati is over and I'm talking with my friends, it's as if Krishna is not there anymore. That's impersonalism or not? Similarly, with devotees also. And not just with, and then sometimes we say, oh, devotees, we are nice. Other people, they're outside. No, with all living beings, not just human beings or not just Hindus or not just Americans or Indians, all living beings. So that covers everything. Our killing and eating meat and everything is covered there. Being impersonal, only when you root it out completely can you actually enter into the University of Rajaprema, where now you will be taught by the professors who are professors Sarup Damodar Goswami, Ramananda Rai, Gadadhar Pandit. And it goes on further, right? Many, many elevated, stages we will reach. But we don't even have the first qualification to get admission there. So impersonalism is a big disqualification to enter into devotional service. So anyway, what I'm saying here is that it's not that we don't get help. Krishna, the spiritual master, they're giving us hints, they're giving us instructions. But if we hear from here and we leave it there and we don't take it seriously, then how will we make progress? Like you were giving the example of your Shiksha Guru, Mataji. She's somebody who actually took it seriously. And now, because of her accepting it, of course, she's personally making progress. She's also impacting others by her practical, um, you know, uh, adherence to that instruction. So, Saujanya Mataji, you want to say something?
Mataji, one small clarification. See, people say cleanliness is godliness, but you were just saying cleanliness is next to godliness, as Prabhupada said. What is the literal meaning here, Mataji? What is it that we need to understand?
That means if you are clean, spotlessly, immaculately clean, it's easy. The next step is you can reach godliness. It's like so if you simply take care of keeping everything spotlessly clean, then for you to come to godliness is a very small step. You can come to that stage very easily. It is right next to. So godliness is on top and step 2 is cleanliness. So if you can come to cleanliness, or at the same time, if you are able to maintain that, then it is also, it's taken as a symptom that, yeah, this person is godly because he is understood. Or somebody is godly, he will automatically be clean. You take it that way also, because that is the stepping stone. You're there, someone who's clean, then next on top of that is godliness. So if somebody is already, it's like somebody is in 10th grade, means it's understood he's already completed 9th. So if someone is godly, means he will be clean. And if there's no cleanliness, means not yet godly.
As part of the prerequisites that you were saying, that's when you said about the cleanliness.
Yeah, so Srila Prabhupada is specifically saying that if you really want to make advancement in Krishna consciousness rapidly, then you take this instruction. Cleanliness is next. That means you always try to be clean, then you will very quickly make progress in Krishna consciousness.
Thank you.
Aditi Lata Mataji.
Mataji, can I read?
I thought you read, or you didn't read. You will read tomorrow because it's already, see, we ended this this section, this verse, and we'll have to start a new verse today, and it's already 7:53. So tomorrow you will read, and then after you. So Inba read, right? Inya didn't read.
Yes, Mataji. Inba read, Mataji.
Inba read. So Arunita can read, and then Inya will read. So you'll remember like that, okay? So let's do Bhagavad Gita and Leela Amrita. Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is. Oh, I didn't bookmark yesterday. Let's see. Maybe I didn't bookmark it yesterday. Pravrittim cha nivrittim cha we did yesterday. So we'll do the next one. Please repeat. Yaya dharmam adharmam cha
Yaya dharmam adharmam cha
karyam cha karyameva cha
karyam cha karyameva cha
ayathavat prajanati
ayathavat
buddhi sa
prajanati
partha rajasi.
buddhi sa
O
patarajasi.
son of Pritha,
O son of
that
Pritha,
understanding
that
cannot
understanding
distinguish between religion and irreligion,
which cannot distinguish between religion and
between
irreligion,
action that should be done and action that should not be done,
between action that should be done and action that should
is
not
in the
be
mode
done,
of passion.
is in the mode of passion.
So if you remember the mode of goodness, understanding in the mode of goodness, bottom line was understanding which is coming from Shastra. That was the conclusion. Yes. And what is the result of having that type of understanding? You will know what is to be done, what is not to be done, what is binding, what is liberating, and what is to be feared, what is not to be feared. You will understand that. That is understanding in the mode of goodness. Understanding in the mode of passion means you will not know what is right and what is wrong, what should be done, what should not be done, what is dharma and what is adharma. You cannot tell. This is passion. Okay. So, not knowing what is to be done and what is not to be done is the mode of passion, understanding. So, this type of understanding you can get. So, this is not coming from Shastra. This type of understanding is not coming from Shastra. This is the situation in the world now, right? We don't know what is dharma, what is adharma. Of course, this is passion, and then there is ignorance also that we will see tomorrow. That is even worse. So then we'll reach the Prabhupada's Leela Amrita now. Srila Prabhupada Leela Amrita. Continuation. Bhaktivedanta Swami worked from a Sanskrit and Bengali Bhagavatam, edited by Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, and a large book containing the original commentaries of 12 great acharyas. So Srila Prabhupada is translating Srimad Bhagavatam first canto in Delhi. So while he's translating, he's using a Sanskrit Bhagavatam and a Bengali Bhagavatam that are edited by Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and also Srila Prabhupada is using the original commentaries of 12 great acharyas. He had a standard format like we see in all of Srila Prabhupada's books. You have the verse, you have word-to-word translation, and you have the English translation, and of course a purport. So he had a standard format. He made a Roman transliteration. Transliteration means, first of all, in the actual Sanskrit script, there is the verse, and then the same Sanskrit verse is given in English. In English, you write the Sanskrit verse. So that is Roman transliteration. He made a Roman transliteration of the Sanskrit Devanagari script, then word for word English synonyms, an English prose translation, and finally his English purport on that verse. Before writing his own purport, however, he would consult the commentaries of the acharyas, especially Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, Vishwanath Chakravarti, Jiva Goswami, Vijayadhvaja Tirtha, and Sridhar Swami. He contemplated the size of the project he was attempting, 18,000 shlokas, right? The Bhagavatam contained 18,000 verses. The first canto, 17 chapters, would fill 3 volumes of 400 pages each. And the second canto, with 10 chapters, would take 2 volumes. Up through the 9th canto, there would be maybe 30 volumes. The 10th canto, containing 90 chapters, would take 20 volumes. Just the 10th canto would take 20 volumes. There were 12 cantos, and so the total would be at least 60 volumes, Srimad Bhagavatam. He thought he might be able to finish it in 5 to 7 years. if the Lord keeps me physically fit, then in the fulfillment of Srila Prabhupada's will, I could complete this work. So Srila Prabhupada is saying, so Srila Prabhupada's Guru, Srila Prabhupada. So our Srila Prabhupada is saying, if the Lord keeps me physically fit, then in the fulfillment of Srila Prabhupada's will, I will complete this work in 5 to 7 years. He decided to introduce the first volume with a biographical sketch of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the ideal preacher of the Bhagavatam. The reader could best appreciate the Bhagavatam by seeing its practical demonstration in the life of Lord Chaitanya. So you see, there's book Bhagavata and there's person Bhagavata. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Bhagavatam personified. His life is Bhagavatam. So the special feature of Lord Chaitanya's presentation had been his desire that Srimad Bhagavatam be preached in every nook and corner of the world by everyone who happens to take his birth in India. This is Mahaprabhu's desire, that this Srimad Bhagavatam should be preached in every nook and corner of the world. By whom? By every person who has taken birth in India. Lord Chaitanya had called Srimad Bhagavatam the spotless Purana and had considered the chanting and hearing of Srimad Bhagavatam along with the Hare Krishna mantra to be a complete scientific process for developing pure love of God. So we are going to stop there today. Thank you all so much, dear devotees. All of you have a wonderful day in Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji.